gather in this online platform for the program UGC Net or Jrf Orientation under Research Circle, which is a part of Yes India. First of all, let me welcome Mr. Jawad, Secretary Yes India, aspirants, and all others to this program. Today's session is handled by Niranjana Mohan, Muhammad Faiz, and Rafid Chenaran, who are JRF holders. So, here my duty is to present the projects of Yes India in front of you. Let me start. Akshara Samudram. Akshara Samudram program was launched in the year 2015, which makes a pathway to coastal community in the field of education. This project mainly focuses on the students from 7th to 12th. Under this project, they get proper guidance, mentoring, and training sessions. Excel India. This is a venture started by Yes India to identify talented undergraduate students and to give them information about premier institutes. Interested students are given proper guidance and coaching for cracking the entrance examinations. G Forum or Excel India Junior. This project mainly focuses on the school going students and making them able to understand about UG courses and institutes too. HR India. HR India, otherwise called Human Resource India, is a program organized by Yes India which brings enlightened citizens the welfare of the society. It aims to develop soft skills such as communication skills, organization skills, management skills, teamwork, problem solving, critical thinking, and much more among the youth. Periculum. Periculum is a monthly magazine which mainly sneaks into all the relevant matters, important days, and events. Students can share their views on the current issues through this magazine. PCG, otherwise called Peer Career Guidance, as the name suggests, this is something related to career. Selected students from each colleges or universities are given career guidance classes. In turn, they can share it with their peers, thus making them aware of the career opportunities. CS Focus was started in the year 2011 to fulfill the civil service dream of aspirants. Faculty members conduct discussions and mock tests. They are given opportunity to interact with civil servants. Art Circle. Art Circle nourishes a sense of earnest interest in research among students right from their UG/PG courses. Art Circle organizes online study circles and residential camps. Explore India. The motto of Explore India is that education should never be restricted to the four walls of a room. This project introduces various premier institutes and provides an opportunity to interact with the faculties and students from such institutes. Excel International. Excel International aims to give students who want to study at international universities a range of courses to suit their tastes and to provide them with the right guidance to get there. Say Yes. Say Yes is a student body initiated by Yes India with the objective of training higher secondary students in the higher education and entrance examinations as well as making them aware of national and international institutions. I hope these all are clear for you. So that's all. Now let me welcome Ms. Niranjana Mohan, JRF holder in English.
Nesla, Niranjana only entered the last time, then should focus on the files to hand over to files, first of all.
Okay. So
Thank you.
let me welcome Muhammad Faiz, JRF holder.
Sorry, I'm also planning to go for last after Niranjana. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, sure. I was planning to do after Niranjana for the conclusion.
Okay. Rafid Chenaran is here.
Yeah, we can start then.
Okay, then can you please handle the session for the first?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay, let me welcome Rafid Chenaran, who is a JRF holder and a PhD scholar in IFLU.
Yeah, I'll try sharing the screen so we see if it works.
Rafika, are you able to share the screen?
Just see, like, wait. Can you see it now? Is it visible for you all?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, yeah. So I'll just start with sort of an introduction. So we have three parts. So how much time I can take, Hari? Hari, how much time I can take?
You can take half an more hour.
Okay, okay. So, so I just take half an hour. Um, and yeah. So first I'll talk something about, what basically what's net, what's paper one. It's like a very big thing that you can get from everywhere, like from YouTube or from guides. So on that, we won't spend a lot of time, around 5 minutes or something. We'll talk about the what part, and then we have the why. The why is like why you should prepare for paper one, right? Like because you have a huge paper two part, then why you should bother about preparing for paper two? Sorry, paper one. And that question is important because that question is personal, right? Because you might have or you should have your own why, your own way of preparation, or your own idea that why you should prepare for an exam for paper one. And the third part is how, because that is the most important part. And on that, we'll spend around 10 to 15 minutes. So that will be like 5 minutes on what and like around 7 minutes on why, and then the rest of the time on how. The how is very important because uh, many people have their whats and whys, right? Like most of us know what is net, and that's why we are here. Most of us have an idea why you should prepare for net exam, like for paper one, and that's another reason why you are here. So the next thing is how to prepare. That's very important because people usually have uh, uh, an inspiration to prepare, like that is immediately after the session, but they don't have a plan. They don't have like a map, a route map, or a detailed plan. So we'll look at that how part in detail. So I just start with what now. Okay, yeah, you can see the what slide, right? Somebody please mute yourself. Is that Atulya, right? Yeah. So what is NET? We all know it's like a qualification for lectureship and scholarship. I'll just run through this thing. And we have NTA NET after the UGC one. Now we have NTA conducting the exam. We have NET and Jrf. Those top 1% will get Jrf. Around the top 6% will get NET. So you will have to apply when that notification comes out. And the validity of net is valid for 2 years if you are going for a research. Uh, Otherwise, the net exam, the net certificate is lifelong valid. Then you have two types of net exams, CSIR net and UGC net. You might be familiar with that also. And you need at least 55% or like for OBC or SCST, you need 50%. For OBC, you need, for the general category, you need 55% of marks to qualify net. That's a minimum qualification, and we should need the cutoff marks. Just keep in mind these things before applying. And the pattern for net exam is you will have 50 questions from paper one and 100 questions from paper two. Okay, it's a CBT, which means a computer based test. So you'll go to a center and take the exam there. Okay, the next part, you don't have a negative mark system for net exam. Please keep that in mind. So you have to attend all the questions. Okay, even if you don't know anything about those questions, just attempt it because there is no negative marks. Okay, uh, and you have a detailed syllabus for paper 1. We'll give that brief outline today, and following that you'll have detailed sessions on each sections of the syllabus. uh, then you have exams in shifts. You'll have 2 shifts a day, and the exam is a whole 3-hour long thing for paper 1 and paper 2. There is no in between breaks, so you can just finish your paper 2 and finish your paper 1 and start writing paper 2. And there is no specific time limit. There's no rule that you should finish your paper 2. You should finish your paper 1 in 1 hour and you should spend 2 hours for paper 2. There is no such rule, so you can take as much time as you want for paper 1, making sure that you have enough time for paper 2. Okay. And when it comes to languages, you'll have questions in English and Hindi. Then you'll get a cutoff mark. Once you have like above the cutoff, you'll get the qualified thing, and then you'll have fellowship once you qualify net. So that's an outline of net exam. And when it comes to paper 1, so I hope most of you, those who want to join, have joined. So can you just give a feedback? So just like, how many of you are trying net for the first time? Like those who haven't written net exam before, please just raise your hand. So there is one person for Jrf. Okay, we have 8 people raised hands so far. 10 people, 12. Okay. Yeah, so we have many people here who are writing for the first time. Also, we have people who are far more experienced, who have been writing the exam for a long time. So we'll cover a brief idea of why we miss that exam, why we often fail to cross the cutoff. It's kind of an outline idea. So please be attentive. We'll have some interaction in between. So this its outline. So first thing, it will be good if you have an outline, like detailed syllabus plan with you when you prepare for the net exam. So for paper 1, I'm not recommending any specific guides, but it's better if you have a guide or a detailed outline. So the purpose of a guide is not that you should prepare, you should study everything that that's in between the 2 covers of the net guide. Instead, you should the net guide or the paper 1 guide or the paper 1 outline is just a tool that gives you an overall understanding of what's happening in the exam. Okay, so just use a guide in that sense, so you don't have to by heart everything in a guide and think that you have a perfect understanding of net exam or paper 1. No, you don't have. Instead, use a guide as outline if you're using a guide, or you can go for any online material that has a detailed outline of paper 1. By the way, if you have any urgent queries that you have to ask immediately, you can turn on your mic and ask, or if you can postpone it to the end of the session, you can postpone, like keep the doubt in your mind and you can have an interaction. Okay, so first one is teaching aptitude. So it's a mandatory thing because net means you are qualified for teaching in a college level education institute. So you should have a teaching aptitude, and it's comparatively easier, not that difficult to learn. So even if you have a problem with the teaching aptitude, you can read and kind of resolve your problems. Research aptitude is the same. So from both teaching aptitude and research aptitude, net used to have repeated questions. So looking for the previous questions also help a lot for teaching aptitude and research aptitude. And these things are kind of boring to read if you are reading theory. For example, teaching aptitude has a long theory. So if you are reading from guidebooks and all, you might get bored. So you can, if you have a problem reading long notes, you can go for YouTube videos. So those are more interesting, I think. Then you have comprehension. For each and every net exam, you have a question from the comprehension session. So please make sure that you have practiced comprehension. So when it comes to comprehension, you don't have to be a scholar of English, or like someone who has a huge vocabulary, or someone with some great capacity, but just you need to practice. That's the key for comprehension. Practice as many comprehension questions as possible before the exam. Then you have communication. Communication again, questions can repeat from previous years, and this communication can be difficult depending on your interest and your aptitude, but it's readable. And mathematical reasoning and aptitude, again, depending on how strong your mathematical skills or your reasoning skills are, this area can be difficult or easier for you. But NTA-NET never asked for like very difficult questions from mathematics. Like basically you need maths till 10th standard. So you don't need to learn integration or differentiation for net exam. So you need like most of the questions are 7th standard maths, I would say. Then maximum up to the 10th standard level you need to prepare for mathematics. So you don't have to worry about that. Again, maths you have to prepare by practice. Then logical reasoning. So logical reasoning is another area which has lot many questions, and it's difficult to prepare when you try it for the first time. But if you listen to a few classes, YouTube or otherwise, you can crack logical reasoning, but you have to spend time on logical reasoning. Then data interpretation, this was the most difficult part for me. So usually what I used to do is I used to skip the data question, but data is doable. Later I found out that I can work on it, and likewise you can spend time practice data interpretation questions. You might have to by heart a few equations, or like get ready to do some complex maths, but it's fine. Then ICT, maybe the simplest zone for most of you. It's again the 10th level ICT. So the thing that we studied for our IT exams, right? Like we have IT as a subject, especially for students from Kerala. So, and also it's like the basic awareness that we have about computer. So that you can do. Then people development environment, again, higher possibility of repeated questions, and readable. It's again a theory history mix. Then higher education system. Higher education system is kind of gets updated each year because we have too many developments. Recently we have NEP, right? What's the full form of NEP? Anybody? NEP. Is there a sound issue? Yeah, National Education Policy. I'm audible, right? Is there a sound issue? Okay, we have answers. Okay, cool. So we'll and that's the paper 1 outline. And this part is very important. The second thing, why we need to prepare for paper one? Because we all are, maybe we are experts in our subjects. For example, we might have people from English literature, history, or sociology, or whatever subjects, and you love reading your subject, right? If you're from a history background, you like reading history more. So obviously you want to spend more time studying for your subject paper than preparing for your paper one, right? But that is a problem, and why you need to prepare for net paper one.
Don't chill, bro, but you should do it. But
It's
you think
no.
it's alone. Don't take it as a, but we need you in our discussion and everything. All the videos.
Okay, so somebody ask something. Okay, data interpretation, we have a detailed class coming in next month, so we'll cover in that. That I shared my experience with it. It was difficult for me, but then I tried to practice it and it became easier. Even then, I don't say that I reached an expert level, but you can uh, learn enough for net. And yeah, so we have why we prepare for paper one, because all of us love our subjects and we might want to read more from our own subjects. But paper one is important even if you have to read things like maths or reasoning or logical or teaching or research, the subjects that you don't necessarily like. So why is it? Because if you can score like a 35%, not 35, 35 questions, which means 70%, or if you can score like 70 to 80% uh, marks in the paper one, you can qualify net. So that's one, I won't say it's a golden rule, but in most of the, in many cases of people who qualified net, you can ask them their paper one score. So, or like those who didn't qualify, there may be people who are experts in their subjects and not that good in paper one. But if you are good in paper one, it's kind of uh, a sure condition for your net. Okay, so if you can score like out of those 50 questions, if you can answer 35 questions correctly or 40 questions correctly, then you can qualify net. If you can score 45 questions correctly, which means you have just 5 questions that you didn't get right. So if you can score 45, that means 90% of the question paper, that means you are almost there. So again, it depends on your subject score, but if you have an average subject score, you can qualify Jrf. So usually paper one is the discrimination criteria between people who got Jrf and people who just missed Jrf. Likewise, people who got net and people who just missed net. So usually what happens is that people will make the students will make a long plan, like a 30 days or 60 days or 90 days timetable, and they fit all the subject things into the timetable, and they didn't there doesn't like there won't be much space or enough space for paper one preparation. So my request is that please give enough time for your paper one. I would say equal time as you give for paper two, and see what difference that makes. So in my personal story, when I prepared for net exam, my friend Jasil, he gave me this advice that uh, in paper one, if you prepare the whole syllabus, like if you can cover the whole syllabus, you can score 90% or 85%. But about paper two, because I did English, for paper two, for English people, you can't cover the syllabus. The syllabus is too big, and it's almost impossible to cover the syllabus. And even if you manage to cover the syllabus, you can't remember the syllabus, or you can't remember the topics that you read. And it's even the most brilliant, the most studious student can score like around 70-75% for a English question paper, which is kind of which is usually tough in that sense. So the difference that you make by preparing for paper one is that you are preparing for something that you can answer for sure. But for paper two, for most subjects, for English, I'm sure, for history, I think so, for sociology, I think so. So it depends on your subjects, but for most of the net subjects, their syllabus is too vast and it's impossible to cover. So if you are preparing for your subject paper and you find it difficult and vast and kind of impossible to answer, even if you prepare the syllabus completely, then you should look for the paper one as your primary resource or primary thing that you can depend to qualify net. Okay, so we'll have around 15 more minutes. So yeah, this one is another method which I would call the big picture method. So usually what happens for an exam when we prepare for an exam is that we miss the big picture. So for paper one, there is always a big picture, and we usually focus on little things. For example, there are students who are worried of mathematics, and for them the whole idea of paper one is maths, and they would say like, it's maths, I can't do it. So, or it's data, I can't do it. So we are focusing on these minute little things and generalizing them as the big thing, but there is always a big picture that we miss when we prepare for an exam. I'll just give an example. For example, when we say this guy Prashant Kishore comes to Congress, what difference he makes is we might have read about that in newspaper, but his method is about the big picture and the data. So I'm presenting a method that kind of updates the data of your preparation, or like which gives you a big picture of your own preparation. I won't say that this is the ultimate method to crack net, but this one is like a suggestion you can try out. So just see if it helps you or not. And when I said we always miss the big picture, we miss it because we stress too much on different things. For example, we have students who highlight a lot. And the thing with highlighting is that we miss the point that you haven't studied or haven't studied. Instead, I have just highlighted. Or you prepare a lot of notes. Like I have seen students who fill notebooks preparing for net exam, and yet they have difficulty in cracking because their whole point of preparation was focused on preparing notes, and they missed the big picture. And there is favoritism because you might have certain areas that are your favorite, and you spend a lot of time learning and relearning those areas and making sure that you get scores from those areas. It's not an intentional thing, but usually we do that because our minds or our brains are like structured in such a way. And we have people who prepare timetable. I'm not saying that you shouldn't prepare timetable. You should prepare timetable, but when you make a timetable, make sure that your focus is not on timetable. Instead, it's on your progress. What happens when you prepare a timetable is that we kind of run to finish the timetable, like at least just read through things without actually reading them. So just for the sake of finishing it and marking it done in the timetable. So especially people who have been preparing and writing net for a long time will have an idea how this works, right? So you should have a timetable, but you should have a proper method to, you know, to measure your progress, which is mostly answering questions. If you can answer a question from a particular area, that means you have learned it. But if you have read a particular area, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have learned. Okay, so this one is the method. You can just try it out, and it's up to you. But it's a suggestion. Just take a question paper, okay, from 2012. Usually, the current pattern starts from 2012. Before that, UGC had descriptive exams. From the beginning of net to 2012, they had descriptive exams. After 2012, they have MCQs. And again, there is a pattern change from 2018. Okay, so you just take a question paper. So you have to answer all question papers from 2012. That's a sure thing. That's a mandatory thing. So take all question papers from 2012 and try to answer it. So like you can do 30 questions a day if possible, or like 40 questions a day. It's up to you. So and the how much net gets part is all about how many questions you have. Okay, so if you have, you can either do it in percentage. So if you have you know, like out of 10 questions, out of 50 questions, if you have 5, you can just give it if you can mark it 10%, or you can just write 5 questions. So it's up to you. And I'm just following the question number method here. So if you are like attending, if you have 3 questions, for example, you took the 2012 question paper and you're just counting how many questions you have from teaching aptitude. So in that question paper, you have 3 questions. So in the first column, you'll get 3, you'll write 3. Okay, and in the second column, you have to, after, you know, trying the question paper, or after solving the question paper, you can just write the score you got. If you got 1 answer correct, you can write 1. And in maths, there was like 4 questions and you got 3. In syllogism, there was 2 and you got 0. From the age, you have 1 and you got 1. So the difference is teaching aptitude is an area that you have in the syllabus. So net will definitely have questions from that area, and usually it's a limited number. So net follows almost a regular pattern. They have like 3 or 4 questions each year. So you can just you know, follow that in that. So you don't have to work a lot to get the number of questions from a general area like teaching aptitude. But when it comes to things like maths, you don't have a maths in syllabus, a maths area in syllabus. Instead, what you have is a reasoning and maths part. So from that, you'll have to count out maths questions that necessarily involve numericals, or that necessarily involve you know, calculations that you have difficulty with. So according to your choice, you know, divide the question paper into different areas. And there is syllogism. Syllogism is not in the bigger syllabus or the outline, but it's in the question paper. So if you want to focus on syllogism, pick it out separately and write make syllogism a separate question, and see how many questions net have from syllogism and how many you can answer. So likewise, prepare a long table. You can make it as long as you like, which will help you to have a larger, bigger idea of your own capability to resolve, like to attend net exam. And you can just give it in a ratio. For example, my performance in teaching aptitude is like 1/3 currently. And like maths is like 3/4. So you can make it a ratio and keep an idea of, have a clearer idea of your own skills and your own efficiency. So that's one thing. And another one, you just start this way, like you'll take a question paper and try solving it. It's important to solve questions in the same mood as you're in an exam hall. So you can do it just for the fun. So keep a time. For example, if you have 30 minutes with you, just keep a clock near you, and from the mark the beginning of the time. And within 30 minutes, usually you can go for like 20 questions in 30 minutes and sit on the table as you are sitting in an exam hall and try answering the questions uh, like in the same seriousness, and just repeat this and see how your ratio improves. For example, when you did in the first day, you did the question paper for 2012. Okay, so in the second or third, like, or like in the 10th day, you did a question paper for 2016. So when you did the 2016 question, your ratio for teaching aptitude increased from 1 by 3 to 2 by 3, so that you have an improvement. And likewise, for me here, syllogism is very low because I got all the questions wrong, which means I have to focus more on syllogism. So likewise, you learn to focus on your weakness. Otherwise, what happens is that we'll focus on our favorite areas or things that are easier for us. So instead, go for the big picture thing. And I'll just wind up in 2-3 minutes. Before that, yeah, this thing, system is very important. Whenever you prepare for an exam, uh, make a system, or like have a system of preparation. For example, this one is a system. If you are doing a single question, one question paper each day, that means you have system. Okay, uh, following the question paper thing, you can spend some time reading from that area you covered, or reading from those areas which you want to cover. So you can, if you prepare for at least 2-3 hours each day, you can, I would say, score around 30-35% in paper one. Depends on you, but again, it's possible. Okay. And at least make 1% progress each day. Okay, so usually people are kind of, I'll prepare on the last week, like just 1 week before net exam, I'll prepare for the whole week, 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day. And it's difficult because you can't make a 10% growth in your preparation, or like a 20% growth in your preparation with one day. Like you can't make a 20% progress. It's difficult, but it's possible to make 1% progress in each day. It's like 1 hour, 2 hour regular work. So just go for that. And identity progress, like, so like you have to get into the identity of someone who prepare for an exam, and it's different from someone who just has the goal. Right, people usually, there are two types of aspirants. People who think of themselves as aspirants, like as someone who are in the business of preparing for net, and the other ones who are still dreaming about the goal of qualifying it. So that is the difference. And so like you have to make the study thing obvious, and make an attractive environment, and make it easy, and make it a satisfying thing to learn. So these are just a few things. We'll have one more session on environment. So if you want to have any follow-up on these things, that we can do that day. So yeah, that's it for the day. Thank you all, and good luck.
Next is our question answering session, doubt clearance session. If you somebody who want to ask any questions, you can
Hello.
ask through. Yeah, yeah. Tell me, audible. ലിയാന, ഇതിൽ വരുന്ന ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഒന്ന് വായിച്ചാൽ, ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിലുള്ള ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് വായിച്ചാൽ റാഫിദ്ക്ക് ആൻസർ ചെയ്യാൻ എളുപ്പമായിരിക്കും.
ആ ഓക്കെ, ഞാൻ വായിക്കാം. ഫസ്റ്റ് പേപ്പറിൽ GK ഉണ്ടോന്ന് ചോദിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്.
ഓക്കെ, GK നമുക്ക് ഫസ്റ്റ് പേപ്പറിൽ GK എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ GK അല്ല, ലൈക്ക് വി ഡോണ്ട് ഹാവ് എ സ്പെസിഫിക് സെക്ഷൻ ആസ് GK, ബട്ട് യു ക്യാൻ count these things, like we have environment and we have higher education. So these things you can consider as GK. അതൊക്കെ വേണമെങ്കിൽ GK യിൽ ഉൾപ്പെടുത്താം, but we don't have a larger or specific section as GK. മിനിമം മാർക്സ് ഈച്ച് പേപ്പറിനുമായിട്ട്, ലൈക്ക് ഓരോ പേപ്പറിനും ഓരോ മിനിമം മാർക്ക് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ല. We don't have minimum marks or separate minimum marks for each paper. What we have is a general cutoff. So usually we have it in percentage. Yeah. So we have a cutoff, and for that cutoff, people, for example, in my time, the cutoff for Jrf was 60%. So for those who have marks above 60%, they'll get net. We have this thing called percentile. Percentile എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാല് ഇപ്പം ടോപ്പ്, അത് ഫസ്റ്റ് റാങ്ക് കിട്ടുന്ന ആൾക്കാർ 100% ആയിരിക്കും. The one who gets the first rank will have 100%, and the one who gets second rank will have like 99.99. Third rank will be like 99.98. Fourth rank will be like 99.97, and it comes down like that. So it's not a rank thing, it's not a percentage thing, but instead you start from the 100% for the first rank, and it comes down depending on the number of participants. So if you have too many students attending the exam, like English, many students attend. For English, if the first rank person is 100, the second rank person will be like 99.999, and it just goes like that. Yeah, there is a percentage or the percentile, nothing is decided before the exam. It depends on the number of candidates and the performance of students. Okay, any more questions, or are we done?
Any questions from others? If you ask any questions, somebody you want to ask?
Okay, benefits of Jrf. So the thing about Jrf is that you'll get money. So you'll get 31,000 each month as fellowship if you join for PhD, and HRI you'll get around 8,000. So for the first 3 years of your Jrf period, you will get, if you're staying outside the campus, you'll get 31 plus 8, which is 39 you get in your first 3 years of PhD. And after that, you will be an SRF person. An SRF candidate will get 35,000 plus HRA, which will again come around 45,000. So it's kind of a huge amount, considering that you're still studying and you are not doing a regular job. So that's one benefit. And if you go for an interview, there is you will get marks uh, for your Jrf. And the Jrf thing is altogether a different category. Usually, it means junior research fellow. So otherwise, uh, other scholars don't have the right to add the name fellow with their name. They're still research students, or maximum they can say research scholars. But Jrf people are research fellows. So that's kind of a designation also. And age limit, there is no age limit for net. Uh, uh, for Jrf, I think 30, it depends. For OBC, there is a difference. It's around like 29, 31, 32, that age limit. And OBC, there is a percentage difference for OBC. For example, the cutoff for Jrf in when I wrote, it was like 60% for the OBC. So every OBC candidate who got above 60 will qualify Jrf, but for the general people it was 68. So if you are from general category, you have to score above 68 to qualify Jrf. Why is net very important today? I don't know if it's very important today. It has been important, and I think we have too many teaching opportunities, and it's kind of compulsory to, like, it's compulsory to have net, but nowadays PhD is kind of a mandatory thing for most of the teaching positions in our country. And so if you have net, it's easier to get into a PhD, maybe that. Okay, yeah, for Jrf it's 31, yeah. That price is for per month, like each month you will get a month. Is it possible to attend the exam? Yeah, you can write it from PG first year, no issues. And there is no time limit, like you can write it any number you want. But again, there is this thing. For Jrf, you have an age limit, no times limit. No, like you don't have a specific limit on how many times you can appear for net, but there is an age limit for Jrf. Net you can write as long as you want. Can we attempt after degree without PG? No, you need PG. And there is this kind of a provision, but I don't know anybody who did that. If you have, if you just qualified, if you just finished your UG and you wrote net, even without joining for PG. But if you can manage to, give the certificate of your PG and join for a PhD within those 2 years, you can avail the Jrf. So there is that kind of a provision officially, but it's a difficult thing for you to, join for a PhD within qualifying, like after qualifying Jrf in your 3rd year UG. Jrf and net separate. Yeah, those are separate things. Is there any scholarship exam like this? Private, government? That I don't know if there are many scholarship exams, but I don't know if there are any other like popular exams that many people write. Oh, okay, okay. You mean if there are separate exams? Okay, okay. No, exam is the same. Jrf and net, the same exam, but different cutoffs. Okay, any more questions? It's already around 3:30, so please, if you have any doubts, otherwise I'll hand over the mic.
Sir, is there any government coaching centers for net preparation?
There is this minority coaching center and usually the aided colleges are the venues for this. I think PSMO had a course when I was there. Now this college in Nilambur, we have Amal College. They conducted a coaching recently. I was there, and then there are different centers, and it's basically government funding the money, and colleges are running the course. But anybody can join. Most of the courses are online.
Hello.
Please, please.
Can I clear that question?
Yeah, sure.
There is a coaching available in under Calicut University, which is conducted by University Employment and Guidance Bureau. I attended last time. It was very effective. They give around 15 days coaching. Each paper we will get 1 day, which means not each paper they will give one topic for 1 unit for 1 day. And last time they are having like question paper discussions also. Means the classes are conducting or leading by the professors who are very well experienced in the field. So it was very useful while I am preparing the exam. The advertisement will come in newspaper, or we can see that anywhere. If I get, I will share that. Sure.
Okay, thank you, Faiz. So, like, we can share that advertisement to your group. I think all of you are in the group.
Can you repeat the name the institution? Faiz, sir.
Yeah, it's under Calicut University. It's University Employment Exchange Bureau. There is a University Employment Exchange Bureau. They are conducting PSC exam coaching and IAS exam coaching also. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Is there any fees for coaching?
No. It's free, and they will select us. Like last 2 times it was in online through Zoom. Now it's the coming class is maybe I contacted them. They told me like that it will be in offline. We have to send our details like our name, email ID, and other details also, like net application number, like that. Yeah, sure. If I get any information from them, I will share
that. And there's one more thing. When you apply for both NET and Jrf. So you'll have this option: apply only for NET. That means apply only for professorship. But you apply for NET and Jrf. Okay, otherwise you won't get the money.
ഏകദേശം ഡൗട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് അടുത്ത സെഷനിലേക്ക് പോയാലോ? ഹരിയേട്ടാ?
Yes, sure. Liana, movie അല്ലേ?
Yes.
Okay. We will be we'll be entering next session. Move on to the next session. The interaction session by we have 2 Jrf holders are here. And first of all, I would like to invite Jrf holder in social work, Faiz. I would like to invite you. Faiz, are you audible?
Yeah, sure. You are yeah.
Yeah, okay.
First of all, I can get some information from you. Should I go with English or can I go with Malayalam? So yeah, I will be more comfortable in Malayalam. Let's just wait for your replies. Malayalam. Is there anyone from out of Kerala or non-Malayalam speakers? Ritika. Okay, anyway, I will try to mix up both Malayalam and English. I'm not good in English, so if you are not getting the point, I will let me know. I can like explain it once more. Okay. Is there anyone from paper 2 as social work? Let me know. I think nobody from social work. Okay, it's okay. Just start our session. And I think it will be more. I think we can go with more interaction because I didn't prepare any PPT and all. So you can ask whenever you have any doubt regarding preparation and all. So it's as we discussed here, Rafi sir discussed here. It's like paper 1 is very important. In my case, I attended the exam 3 times only. First time I just attended. I didn't prepare anything. And the second time, I prepared a lot. Like means I gave more focus on paper 2. So after result came, my paper 1 mark was very less. It's only around 18. 18 questions I corrected. Which means I was right. Then I realized that I'm not good in paper 1. Then last time I gave more focus for paper 1. So I think most of the paper 2 question papers are like average 40 to 50 questions. Those who are studying PG, they can easily answer that kind of question. Which means it's a average level of difficulty. Then it after that 15 to 70 questions, like it is a moderate difficulty. Then 70 to 100 questions, it have high level difficulty. So if we learned something from paper 2, we can easily score around 40 to 50 questions from paper 2. But the main thing is that if we are getting more marks in paper 1, we will get net or Jrf. It mainly it is determined by paper 1. How many? It's not like maybe it's not like that, but in my case it was like that. Like so many people are not giving that much focus for paper 1. We are thinking that we can easily manage paper 1. So we have don't think like that. We have to give more focus paper 1 and both paper 2. So if you are very confident in paper 2, please give for more focus for paper 1. So it's about the important or like how we are why we are talking about more about paper 1. So maybe so many people are very confident in paper two, paper one. Like they will be in science background. They are very much in very much in maths. Also, there will be like there will be good in environment like topic. So maths also there will be good. So if we are not that kind of like humanities background, you should give more focus to paper one. Then I'm going to discuss about the beginning. If you are going to start preparation, beginning is very important. Which means if you are when you are starting the preparation, like നമ്മൾ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ തുടങ്ങുമ്പോൾ ഫസ്റ്റ് ദിവസം we are not maybe we cannot give 1 hour 2 hour for the preparation. First of all, first you start, maybe you will be like 20 minutes only you will be get like concentration. After that you will be distracted some other things, maybe you cannot focus. That time you shouldn't ruin your confidence. You should be stick on that. If you are like that much needed net or there, which means ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഒരു ട്രാക്കിൽ കയറുന്നത് വരെ നമ്മൾ ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ നമ്മൾ ഒഴിവാക്കേണ്ടി വരും. ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങളിലേക്ക് നമ്മൾ ഡിസ്ട്രാക്ഷൻസ് ഒക്കെ നമ്മൾ ഒഴിവാക്കേണ്ടി വരും. അഥവാ ഈ ഫസ്റ്റ് ട്രാക്കിലേക്ക് കയറുക എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇറ്റ്സ് വെരി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ്. then when we are starting the preparation, while preparing you may be distracted. There will be so many things will be there. So first of all you have to decide what you want. Like then you start, and first of all you start from little things. Like you should first of all you get syllabus, then you go and get some basic information from net and Jrf, from YouTube, or this kind of classes also will be helping that thing. So then you should start very slowly. Just start slowly. Then if you are ഫസ്റ്റ് ദിവസം തന്നെ നിങ്ങൾ ഒരുപാട് പഠിക്കാൻ ശ്രമിച്ചാൽ യു വിൽ ബി നമുക്ക് അതിന് ഫോക്കസ് നഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്നതാണ് എനിക്ക് തോന്നിയിട്ടുള്ളത്. അപ്പൊ ജസ്റ്റ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഒരു ട്രാക്കിലാവുന്നത് വരെ നല്ല കൂളായിട്ട് പോയിട്ട് പിന്നെ ലാസ്റ്റിലേക്ക് എടുക്കുമ്പോൾ you should give more time for that. Then the planning, which means the strategy or system, it should work like your own. Hello, sorry, audible?
കേൾക്കാം.
Yeah, thank you. Like the system or the strategy should prepare your own self, your own. Maybe if I studied by using so many things like YouTube and preparing my own self. Then I will discuss with my friends. You can make your own strategy. It will be more helpful. You know you are well, so you can make a strategy. How I can study these things. How can study these things? Okay, so you should make your own. Then you will be more powerful in that. Then it's about PYQ. PYQ is very important. If you are giving more focus on PYQ, just complete all syllabus very speedily. Just go through it. Just get a glance. Then you give more focus on PYQs. Minimum. It's one unit you can give more PYQ. Then it will be more helpful in your exam. Ugc Net and Jrf examination. It's not about how it's the knowledge in subject. It's all about time managementing and like practice. There are so many things will come while attending the examination. So So if we are very well in time management in examination, you will get so much time. So you can answer all questions. You can take time. So if you practice many PYQs, it will help you so much in your examination, which means you can cool and relax. You can attempt the exam. If you are practicing PYQ like timed test, it will be more helpful. If you are planning to do one PYQ, take 1 hour for that. Then answer all questions. After that, you can check it whether it is right or wrong, which area I made mistake, which area I'm not well, which area I scored very less marks, and then like you can give you can do a postmortem. Like it's not like that. You can do a where I made mistake. Then you can correct it. The next time you should give this area. You should give more focus, like evaluation. Like thank you. You can give that. That will be very helpful while preparing a net examination, and then you can give more strength. You can strengthen your weakness area also. Then I told about materials. You will be getting. There are so many good YouTube channels. They are giving paper one classes. Like if you are interested, I can share those YouTube channels also. Then also there are like Byju's, then Unacademy. There are so many YouTube like applications also. But if you are taking premium, it will be very helpful. They are also giving free content. I didn't take any premium and all. They are also giving free content. You can utilize that. Then important chapter. There is no such a important chapter and all. So if I got any 1 mark from maths, I also getting 2. If I got one answer correct in maths, I am also getting 2 marks. If like there is no important chapter, but you can decide where is your strength, where you can give more focus, where you should give more focus. Then you will be getting good marks. Then easy scoring portion also there. Like if we cleared or we are very well, like research aptitude and teaching aptitude, if you got the logic, which means if you got the concept, you can answer the questions very easily. Like you should think. If you are answering any question in teaching aptitude, you can think like I should answer this question as a teacher's perspective. Then you will get the correct answer. I think so. So you can apply these kind of things. So in the case of teaching aptitude, research aptitude, it is very applicable. It is very simple to answer if you got the idea. Then if we come to ICT, environment, higher education, it is more factual question. So we have to be very very well in that subject. So if in that case we can go through some for the PYQ. Mostly the ICT and environment higher education, they are focusing on PYQs, and data interpretation, mathematical reasoning, and logical reasoning. It should be it is needed practice. If we are doing that, more focusing on practice. Reading comprehension also. If you are not well in English, you should give more focus reading comprehension. So why I am feeling like that? ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ റീഡിങ് ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലും ഡാറ്റ ഇന്റർപ്രിട്ടേഷനും വളരെ മോശമാണെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ മോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് നമ്മുടെ കൂട്ടത്തിലുള്ള നല്ലൊരു ശതമാനം ആളുകൾക്കും ഈ ഡാറ്റ ഇന്റർപ്രിട്ടേഷനും റീഡിംഗ് കോംപ്രഹെൻഷനും ആൻസർ ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി കഴിയുന്ന ആളുകളേക്കാരും. നമ്മൾ അതിൽ മോശമാണെങ്കിൽ അവരെന്തായാലും ആ മാർക്ക് അവർക്ക് ഷുവർ ആയി കിട്ടും. നമുക്ക് ആ മാർക്ക് ചിലപ്പോൾ ഷുവർ ആയിക്കൊള്ളണമെന്നില്ല. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ അതിൽ അധികം ഫോക്കസ് കൊടുത്താൽ മാത്രമേ നമുക്ക് അതിൽ സ്കോർ 5-ന് 5 സ്കോർ ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി പറ്റുള്ളൂ. റീഡിംഗ് കോംപ്രഹെൻഷനും ഡാറ്റ ഇന്റർപ്രിട്ടേഷനും 5-ന് 5 സ്കോർ ചെയ്യാൻ രൂപത്തിലുള്ള പ്രിപ്പറേഷൻ വേണം. അഥവാ ഒരു 10-20 PYQ ഇതിലേക്ക് ഫോക്കസ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മൾ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്താൽ മാത്രമേ ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലും ഡാറ്റ ഇന്റർപ്രിട്ടേഷനും വളരെ മോശമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യമാണ് പറയുന്നത് അവർക്ക് സ്കോർ ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി സാധിക്കുള്ളൂ. ദെൻ communication is like very simple topic. We can score so many marks from that. So communication is very simple if we are giving more focus on that. There will be also syllabus under, but you are giving some focus, you will be getting more mark on that. Then that's what I'm telling, topic by strategy. Like teaching aptitude, research aptitude is please got the concept, then ICT, then environment, higher education, it's more factual, so please learn all concepts. Then logical listening, mathematical listening, and data interpretation, data interpretation and reading comprehension you should practice. Then it depends, like if you are very well in maths and English, you shouldn't, maybe you will be scoring that much mark. So you please give time to your weakness area. Then it's about self note. Self note is very important. If while preparing, you should prepare self note also, because while I was studying, I will put like PYQ answering. ഞാൻ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഒരു നോട്ട്ബുക്കിൽ പേപ്പർ 1-ന് ഒരു നോട്ട്ബുക്കും പേപ്പർ 2-ന് ഒരു നോട്ട്ബുക്കും കീപ്പ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. പേപ്പർ 1 നോട്ട്ബുക്ക് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ 10 യൂണിറ്റിൽ 10 ഏരിയാസ് ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും, ഓരോ പേജിലും ഓരോ ഏരിയാസ് നോട്ട് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ചിട്ട് അതിൽ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്ന പുതിയ നോളജുകൾ അതിലിങ്ങനെ ആഡ് ചെയ്ത് പോവായിരുന്നു ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അവസാനത്തേക്ക് വരുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ ഒരുപാട് കോൺഫിഡൻസ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ കഴിയും. അവസാനത്തെ ഒരാഴ്ച നമ്മൾ ചിന്തിക്കുകയാണ്, അടുത്ത ആഴ്ചയാണല്ലോ എക്സാം വരാൻ പോകുന്നത്, ഞാനൊന്നും പഠിച്ചിട്ടില്ലല്ലോ, ഞാൻ വളരെയധികം എനിക്ക് തീരെ കോൺഫിഡൻസ് ഇല്ല, ഞാൻ എന്താ ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത് എനിക്കറിയില്ല. അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ ഈ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്ത് നമ്മൾ ഈ എഴുതി വെച്ച് നമ്മുടെ ഈ പ്രൂഫ് നമ്മുടെ കയ്യിലുണ്ടാകുമ്പോൾ, അഥവാ ഈ പേപ്പർ 1-ന്റെയും പേപ്പർ 2-ന്റെയും നോട്ട്സ് നമ്മുടെ കയ്യിലുണ്ടാകുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് പറയാൻ കഴിയും, നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ നെഞ്ഞത്ത് കൈവച്ച് തന്നെ നമുക്ക് പറയാൻ കഴിയും, ഞാൻ ഒരുപാട് പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ പഠിച്ചതിന്റെ തെളിവാണ് ഈ കാണുന്നത് എന്നുള്ളത് നമുക്ക് സ്വയം ഉള്ളിലൊരു കോൺഫിഡൻസ് ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി സെൽഫ് നോട്ട് വളരെയധികം സഹായിക്കുന്നു. മാത്രമല്ല, നമ്മൾ ഇപ്പോൾ തന്നെ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്ത് പ്രിപ്പറേഷൻ തുടങ്ങുകയാണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ നോട്ട് പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്തിട്ട് അവസാനത്തോടെ അടുക്കുമ്പോൾ ജസ്റ്റ് അതിലൂടെ ഒന്ന് പോയാൽ തന്നെ നമുക്ക് എല്ലാ കോൺസെപ്റ്റും നമ്മുടെ മൈൻഡിലേക്ക് വരും. അത് നല്ല രീതിയിൽ നമുക്ക് എക്സാമിന് ഉപയോഗപ്പെടുത്താനും സാധിക്കും. പിന്നെ വേറൊരു നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഐ എം ഗോയിങ് ടു ഡിസ്കസ് അബൌട്ട് mainly if you started preparation, then more if you think you should I will study every day, you also will be like prepared any timetable also. So that time someday you won't be get time to prepare, you won't be you will be distracted some other things. So don't be like don't lose confidence, it's natural thing. നമ്മൾ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നമ്മളുടെ ഒരു 5 ദിവസത്തേക്ക് ടൈം ടേബിൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കി വെച്ചു, 5 ദിവസം നമുക്ക് കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് ഫോളോ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റിയില്ല എന്നുള്ളത് കൊണ്ട് നമ്മൾ ഒരിക്കലും നമ്മുടെ കോൺഫിഡൻസിനെ ബാധിക്കാനോ നമ്മുടെ പഠനത്തെ ബാധിക്കാനോ ഞാൻ അതിലേക്ക് ഫോക്കസ് ചെയ്യാതെ എൻ്റെ ഫോക്കസ് നഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു എന്ന് സ്വയം ചിന്തിക്കാനോ അതിന്റെ ഒരു ആവശ്യമില്ല. കാരണം നമ്മൾ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അത് സ്വാഭാവികമാണ്. കാരണം ഒരു 4 ദിവസം കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ആയിട്ട് പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്ത ഒരാൾക്ക് സ്വാഭാവികമായിട്ട് 5-ാമത്തെ ദിവസം ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് നഷ്ടപ്പെടാനുള്ള സാധ്യത ഉണ്ടാവാം. കാരണം എനിക്ക് അങ്ങനത്തെ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ കടന്നു പോയതെന്ന് പറയാം. അപ്പൊ അത് നമ്മൾ ഇതിന്റെ ഒരു ഹീലിംഗിന്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് കാണുകയും നമ്മൾ 2 ദിവസത്തേക്ക് റെസ്റ്റ് എടുക്കണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ റെസ്റ്റ് എടുത്തിട്ട് പിറ്റേ ദിവസം പൂർവാധികം ശക്തിയോടെ തിരിച്ചു വരികയാണ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. അത് ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ കേസിൽ അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് ഞാനിപ്പോൾ പറയുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ മോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് കൂടുതലും ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യണം. അഥവാ നമ്മൾ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ സ്വാഭാവികമായിട്ടും നമുക്ക് അതിൽ ഇതുണ്ടാവും. 5 ദിവസം കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ആയിട്ട് പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അപ്പോൾ അതിനനുസരിച്ച് നമ്മൾ സ്വയം നമ്മളോട് തന്നെ ക്ഷമിക്കുക. അല്ലാതെ നമ്മളെ സ്വയം കുറ്റപ്പെടുത്താതെ ഓക്കെയാണ്, നമുക്ക് തിരിച്ചു തരാൻ കഴിയും എന്നുള്ള സ്വയം ക്ഷമിച്ചിട്ട് മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാൻ വേണ്ടി ശ്രമിക്കാം. Then it's about self-motivation. Self-motivation means no one will be there to motivate you. Ultimately, humans are alone. So please stay motivated, which means self-need, which means there will be a need. You are going to crack net, you are going to crack Jrf. So the motivation should come from inside. You teach yourself. You are capable of that, to do that. So please be self-motivated. Then persistence. Persistence means you should, if you are started, you have to complete everything. So you have to crack until cracking net or Jrf. Stay focused and work. And also while preparing, you should give more focus on your health and dehydrated, which means you have to give more focus on your health. You should work out. Then you can do meditation things also. Also you have to take enough food and water. Otherwise it's very important for your brain. Otherwise you will be tired, and you have to focus these things also. That's all from my side. If you want to know or like any clarification you need, you can ask. And then while preparing, you are having any doubts or any help, you can ask. I can share my number here, whether it is WhatsApp or normal call. I will be available. Maybe I will be joining somewhere for PhD after 2 months. Anyway, I will be available to help you. So feel to ask. Anyway, thank you and all the best.
താങ്ക് യു ഫയസ്ക. ഹരിയേട്ടാ, അപ്പൊ നമ്മള് നെക്സ്റ്റ് നിരുപമ ചേച്ചിയിലേക്ക് പോവല്ലേ? ഹരിയേട്ട മ്യൂട്ടാണ് തോന്നുന്നു കേട്ടോ, മ്യൂട്ട് ആക്കണം.
ആർക്കെങ്കിലും സംശയം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലോ പ്രിപ്പറേഷനുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട എന്തെങ്കിലും സംശയം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലോ ഇപ്പൊ ചോദിക്കാവുന്നതാണ്.
Yeah, you want to ask anything to Faris? Somebody who want to ask? Is it I'm audible?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, any doubts from anyone else?